Welcome back to the CSA Forex channel. It's a pleasure having you guys here. Today is Tuesday, and we are, as usual, looking at what's happening in the market, the Forex market, for trading opportunities, right? Something happened just now based on the dollar, and I was wondering what happened based on this candle, this hourly candle that we just have here, this big one that seems to be breaking out of this resistance, former resistance that was supposed to act as support, but seems not to be holding over here. And when I saw this, right, I decided to do something, and this is what we always say we should be doing at the very beginning before even looking at charts. I went back to check the calendar, right, to check the news to find out is there anything that might have happened of recent, even though that candle is not that significant, but when you check on some other instruments, it looks rather big, right? And also we have for today, Tuesday, January 23rd, you can see we had news for JPY 4:09 a.m. not too long ago, West African time, 7:30 also West African time. We had news that came out not too long ago. And if you look at what we have right in front of us, right, you'll notice that we don't have anything for the dollar. So, as we don't have anything for the dollar, of course, the next major news for today is at 10:45 p.m. for the New Zealand dollars. Yesterday, we talked about this and we said, everybody, you need to be careful with this as the New Zealand pairs should be very volatile. Let's quickly cross back to the charts and see what we have quickly before we call it a day, right? And then look at what we have over here. I'm going to play out the scenarios that I can see here based on this level, right? Which I can easily call a flip zone because it has acted as resistance in the past and also as support. Questions for you. Is this going to be a fake out? Is it going to be a false break? Or is it going to break down properly and use this area now as resistance to push lower? If that is the case, then yes, we can take advantage of this looking at Euro USD as an example. Because if this happens and then it drops further down, that means that the Euro USD, we should be looking for buying opportunities. So let's cross over to Euro USD, and this is Euro USD here. You can see the same scenario, very similar scenario, where you have this place here as support, and then acting as resistance, the flip zone. And you can see what we have over here. The same scenario on the DXY on the dollar index. It seems to be breaking out to the upside. So is this a fake out or is it going to break out properly? Come out to test this again, use this as a launching pad for the buyers, bullish move, and then push higher. If that is the case, then we have this height over here at about 1.0. Let's just say approximately, roughly the round number, psychological round number of like 1.01 area, somewhere around here, right? So is that going to be the case for this week? And of course, don't forget, we still do not have any high impact news for today. If we go back to the calendar, you'll notice that the high impact news for the dollar starts when it starts on Wednesday. As you can see, it starts on Wednesday, and that is from 3:45 p.m. West African time, where we have the flash manufacturing PMI and flash services PMI as well. So please always take note of what you need to always do initially. Check the calendar. Somebody still asked me that question not long ago in the trading community, in the Telegram trading community, and I said, yes, please check the calendar whether you're a scalper, especially if you're a scalper, day trader, or even swing trader. Position traders might not really need to, or even the swing traders, because you are trading on a higher time frame perspective. So that is very key, very, very important. Apart from this Euro USD, if we check the dollar Swizzy, you see that dollar Swizzy is supposed to be moving in the opposite direction with the Euro USD, and that's what we have over here. So now we could easily say maybe a pullback here and then further drop. Remember, for the Euro USD, we said it might be a continuous up, a pullback, then continuous up. But this is what we're looking at over here as well, after the range at this area of resistance. So by the time you look at all your instruments, especially the ones that have correlations, you start to see some similarities and then you start to align properly. Here is the gold, and you can see key areas of former support and resistance, and then price is now at this area. You need more clues, and the ways you can get more clues is through the price action, PA. Wait for price to react, see what the market has painted over here. If it gives us like a nice, massive pin bar over here at this area of flip, then it will be a good one to take your short position and then do what? Put your stop loss just above the candle. But this candle is still rather small, even if it ends up being a pin bar. We need something nice and massive like this. The bigger the pin bar is, the better. Imagine having this over here. And you can see this move was a massive move to the downside, right? Imagine having that over here. This would be a good confidence builder for us to jump on this. And even similar to this, but this is massive. And then if we draw our fibs, if you're a fib trader from the highs to the lows, you see that it has confluence in that area, right? In that area of 50 to 61.8. This is a good area to look for shorts to try to take it all the way back to the lows over here of about 2002, right? So always conduct your analysis properly, know where to set your stop loss, know where to set your take profit. Risk management is key. And of course, how you manage your trades also is very important, right? We'll just try to look at maybe one more instrument before we round up, and we would probably just look at the pounds JPY. I don't trade this like I used to, but then I did this analysis for someone and then I sent it to the person. You can see what we had here based on the trend line, and then based on this pattern where we had the head and shoulders over here. So we said that this area was key. I can see after it broke out from this trend line, it kept on respecting the trend line, and look at this over here. Over here, we had a bearish engulfing. Bearish engulfing has to do with there's another name for it. Bearish engulfing has to do with when this candle, a big candle, swallows the previous one, and you can see it held its ground and then dropped further down. That's why I was wondering what happened over here based on this massive candle. And then remember, there was news that came out earlier for the Japanese yen. If you go back and check your calendar, you would see. So this one is still poised for further drop, as we have here a key area here that price most likely should get to. Remember, if you draw your Fibonacci as well, you have some form of confluence here. So there is something over here. If you look very well, there's something over here that is building up. There's a form of pattern here. This is easily like head and shoulders, more or less. Even though this place, the wicks got to the highs over here of the head, but I can still consider this as the head and shoulders. This is just a bit crooked based on the news that came out for the Japanese yen. So let's see how this plays out. If you're interested in this, look for short positions over here and then to take it back down. Don't forget, it's advisable you know how to calculate your risk. And we always say, if you want to learn how to go about calculating your risk and also to learn more about the business, you can as well head over to the school, the training.csafresh.com school, and you have everything here. Free webinar for you to learn how to go about everything, and then position size calculator over here for you to calculate your risk appropriately. Coming soon, guys, coming soon. We have a robot that we are making, that we are working on, that is going to cover everything from the risk management to the trade management and even how you enter your trades. One key thing about placing trades is that you're placing trades either based on a break or on a bounce. Think about that very well. Either on a break or on a bounce. Now, with that said, we are going to call it a day. I want to say thank you. Please ensure to trade safely. Make sure you have your stop loss and you've calculated your risk appropriately. Don't forget, you can head over to this position size calculator for that. Make sure you calculate your risk appropriately and then accept your losses no matter what the outcome is. If this video was a bit helpful, if we have been helping you out to understand the market better, how to approach it, do the needful. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, give it a thumbs up, and if you have any question, use the comment section below, and of course, we'll get back to you in good time. Thank you guys, enjoy the rest of the day, and goodbye for now. Cheers.